Good morning, boys and girls. This is Ms Alicia. This is the third Sunday in Advent, and I'm going to do a Sunday school lesson on video for you again today. Really wish we could do it in person, but we're trying to do the best we can do while we're all trying to stay safe and healthy during this very unusual holiday season. So today is the third Sunday in Advent, and the theme of the third Sunday in Advent is joy. And today's lesson is about the birth of Jesus. And what could be more joyful than the birth of a baby? So let's talk about how you might see joy around you right now. You probably see joy, maybe you've been decorating your house or decorating your tree. I know we just did ours last night, and that always brings me such joy. Just putting different ornaments on and remembering where they came from or the memories that they bring back. It's just always a fun time in my house. Also singing Christmas carols, or maybe seeing Christmas lights. I love going around seeing the Christmas lights. My husband, Mr. Walt, put up some new Moravian stars out front yesterday for the very first time, and they gave me wonderful joy. I went out like 6 times taking pictures. Couldn't get a good one, but gave me such joy. And then just to see other people's decorations. And then all the TV specials. We saw one last night that I had recorded of the Rockettes, that brought back memories of when the girls and I had gone with the grandmothers and the aunt up to New York City to see them when the girls were young in elementary school. And just that brought back wonderful memories too, and a lot of joy. So I hope you're finding joy in this season through traditions, new and old. So today's lesson is called A Baby is Born. It's on page 190 in your books. So a baby is born. So you can see the picture of Mary and Joseph and baby Jesus. So we're going to read a little about this now. So what do you know about the day you were born or when you were brought home? I don't know any about my own when I read that sentence, but of course I know what happened to my kids when they were home. What a wonderful, joyous thing it was to bring them home. Maybe a grandparent was there. Ask your parents how it was when you came home. And how did you get your name? So that's actually, naming was really hard for parents to pick out names. I remember really thinking hard about it. Wanted to be a good name, and you wanted to like the name and thought it would fit the person no matter what they did. So maybe you have a family name. Our first daughter, Laura Frances, was a family name. Laura and Frances were the names of two of our grandmothers. So that's why we picked that name. Or maybe it's just a name your parents liked, or just they knew someone that they really liked that had that name. Ask your parents where your name came from. That's kind of an interesting thing to learn sometimes. Okay, so back to our story. After the angel Gabriel visited Mary to tell her the news about her baby, she and Joseph got some more news. They heard that the Roman ruler Caesar Augustus wanted to count all the people in the Roman Empire. Sorry about that, unexpected visitor. They heard that the Roman ruler Caesar Augustus wanted to count all the people in the Roman Empire. Every man had to go to his hometown so that his family could be counted. We actually do that today. We just had a census this year where everyone's counted. It helps the government figure out how to apportion resources. So it started way back in Jesus' times they were doing that. So they had to go back to their hometown to be counted. So Joseph's family was from Bethlehem. So Mary and Joseph left their home in Nazareth to go to Bethlehem. The trip was hard for a pregnant woman. Just imagine what it would have been like for Mary to make that trip with Joseph. And they couldn't just get in a car. They actually had to walk or ride a donkey. Mary rode a donkey, so it was a hard, long trip. While Mary and Joseph were in Bethlehem, they looked and looked for a place to stay. It wasn't easy. Many people had come to Bethlehem. Every guest room was full. At last they found space in a manger, in a stable, Jesus was born in a manger where animals stayed. A manger is where animals would eat. The hay would be in the manger, and that's where he was born, in a manger of hay. So Mary gently wrapped him in cloths and laid him in the manger where the animals ate. This was the baby that the angel Gabriel had told her she would have. So think about if Mary's baby was born, what animals would she have heard when he was first born or seen? What would have been all around? Maybe sheep, maybe cows, maybe chickens. Those are the ones that come to my mind. And you think about the sounds that they might have made. That would have been a very unusual sounds to hear as a baby. So one thing I thought we could do today is we could make a craft. We haven't done that since we've been at home, and I love to do that. So I was like, all right, we're all stuck at home. We can't be running out to the store all the time. So I figured out a way to make a stable from 5 things that you should be able to find in your house. And you should be able to see the one I made this morning back behind me. I woke up this morning and realized that my own nativity set, our own nativity set for our family, didn't have a manger, had a manger, didn't have a stable. So I figured it needed a stable. And so I was trying to figure out a way to make a stable from things around the house. So I found a way to make a stable with 5 things around the house. So I'm going to tell you how to do that, and if you want, you can do it later. You can see mine over there. I'm not very artistic, but I thought I was pretty happy with the way that turned out. So it's actually made out of a box, a cardboard box. So your parents are probably ordering a lot of things online since we're not kind of out and about as much as usual because of the COVID pandemic. So, but I bet you all have an Amazon box laying around. We have a number of Amazon boxes laying around. So I made it from an Amazon box or any box. You'll find yourself a cardboard box. That's the first thing you need. And then the second thing you need is a pair of scissors. Third thing, tape, which you should have for wrapping gifts, that and scissors, so you should have that. And then a paper clip if you have that. If you don't have a paper clip, we can make do without it. But a paper clip, that's what I used for mine. That's for the hold the star up. And then you need a piece of white, yellow paper, either construction paper, poster board, or if you just have white, just color it. So it's fine. So that's how I made my stable back there. So what you're going to do is find your box, and the basic thing is first you have these 4 flaps where you've opened it around the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the first thing you're going to do is cut the flaps off, each of the 4 flaps, and then you'll have 4 rectangles. And then that's how you have 2 of the rectangles are going to stand up and be the sides. You can see that in mine back there. And then 2 of the rectangles are going to be the roof on top. You can see my roof on top back there. And then you just tape it together. And then what I did was I stood it in the bottom of the box. So now I have an open box without a top left. And I stood my walls and my roof right there and taped it in, and that's what you see right there. Then I cut out the front so that you could see straight in, so you can see Mary and Joseph and the baby back there. And then for the star, I cut a star out of the yellow paper, and I'll tell you how to do that in a minute. And then I took a paper clip, and you might need your mom or dad to help you with this. So I unbent it to make it straight. And then I poked it down through the top of the roof and then taped the star on the top, and that's what makes it look like it's hanging above the roof. Now, if you don't have a paper clip, just tape your star right to the top of your roof. It's fine. All right, so let's talk about making a star. A star is a little tricky. So there's actually a neat way to make a star if you haven't done one before. It's just 5 lines. So you can, I don't know if I'll have to probably do this and then show it to you. So you're basically making a line straight down and then up diagonally to the left, straight to the right, down diagonally to the left, and then up diagonally to the right to meet the last point, and you end up with a star. So I don't know if I can do this so you can see it. We'll try. Let's see. So down, to the right, diagonally up, straight across, back the other way, diagonally down, and then up to meet that first point where you started. And then you have a star. So you can practice drawing those for a little while till you get one you like, and then you can cut it out, and that's how I made my star. So I hope y'all, and if you want to, I hope you enjoy that little craft. I enjoyed actually making it this morning myself. Okay, so the last thing I want to talk to you about is, so sometimes there are actually people nowadays who have trouble finding a place to stay. So one thing I would try to think about and talk to your parents about is, how can you help people that don't have a place to stay? So we have, usually our church supports a winter shelter. There are a bunch of churches in the community that band together, and people that don't have a place to stay, we let them stay in our churches. Each church usually hosts the group of women or men for a week and provides a dinner, a warm place for them to stay, and then breakfast in the morning, and then a lunch for them to take out for the day. So this year we can't have the winter shelter because of COVID. So there is an organization that is providing housing for these people in the hotel, which is really nice. And they do, Quint Gregory is organizing for us to make lunches for the help with that, since we can't have them in our own church this time. The information on that is in the e-news, and talk to your parents about that. I think Quint still needs some volunteers, so maybe you can help with that. Another thing is, there's an organization called LARS, Laurel Advocacy and Referral Service, that's right here in Laurel, that works to help people that are having trouble paying the rent or having trouble getting food. So maybe y'all can pick up an extra bag of groceries at the grocery store and take it to Lars yourself. Or I think Dot Brownlee picks it up at the church once a month. You can contact her and see about that, or I think information on that's on the e-news too. So those are little things you might be able to do to help out people in the area. So I hope everybody is having a good Christmas season, and I really miss seeing you all, and I wish you a Merry Christmas and a safe and happy New Year, and I'll talk to you again in a few weeks. Thanks. Have a good day.